Okay, so I'd like to start with the presentations of the character design that I have done with WA. So before we get into the results and the findings, I would like to start with the brief of the project. What is it about, and then what we are trying to find. So um, the target group, we are looking for the people who are actually get a hard time to having a pet, or having with the limitations of the location that they live, for example in the condominiums. So this is a artificial hormones robot using the AI. So the solution is that this robot is playing with the owner, and then the robot is collecting the data of the owners, for example, the touching, sound, visual gestures, and then it's somehow noticed that this is the owner, and then it can be actually react to the other robot as well. And the robot design, it can be changed the head to different kinds of animals, and the head is also programmed to represent the different in terms of the gesture. So if you change the head to the cat, then the robot will act accordingly to the head. So this set the theme of the questions that we would like to test the character designs, focusing on the eye designs, because the eye is the most important and the most approach in our project. So this is our goals, to identify the eye characters in terms of shape, size, and locations of the eye, and observe whether people gonna prefer which options. And the next one, we have set the goal of the animal characters, which one that people prefer the most. And finally, the other findings that we found along the way of the process. So the participants, including the age of 3 until 50, because in this age, you can have like a toy, a robot toy, or they can have a pet as a robot pet. And focusing on a group of people lives in the condominium and struggle with having a pet. And anyone that have an experience with the cartoon and characters is also welcome to answer the questionnaire. And the method we use is we're using the UEQ, which is User Experience Questionnaire, to rate the visual from the visual questionnaires in rating in 7 scales. And the tasks, they have 2 of the tasks. The first is they're looking at the design characters and then give us the comments, and they also rating the score on the online questionnaire. So these 2 of the approach of the method, we're gonna somehow cross-check each other whether it's go along together. And the parameter, again, this is, we are looking for the size of the eye, the shapes of the eye, and the locations of the eye. So within that possibilities, we have generated 16 of the options, including the size of the eye. For example, in this case, the circle is enlarged, but it's located at the same place. And the other is like the shape is changed to oval or rectangles. So this is how we set the rating from dislike to like, not friendly to friendly. And at the end, we ask for the reasons why you give the maximum or minimum score. Now, so I will talk about the finding one, and then let Wa talk about the rest of the findings. So the finding one, round and big eyes matter. So what we have found is that when the people score, this is the most popular from 18 participants that they rate. So you would see that the shape of the eye is in circle and it's in the big eye stage. And the second one is the oval. So if you see the whole range of the ranking, you will see that the first four is round and big eye, but the rest is a kind of a smaller eye with different kinds of shapes. So from 18 participants, we somehow can conclude that people like the round shapes and at the same time go bigger with the eye. And this is some of the comments that why people like it. So it's exaggerated meaning of the eye, and the proportions is affect the emotions. And someone has already familiar with the Japanese culture, so that they have read the cartoons and the character before. So this is a kind of a familiar with their past experience. And yeah, somehow the emotion is, they just love it. And we just found the supporting research of the why people just like the big eye. This is one of the cases that big eye is in the baby or in a cat that have a big eye. So this stage is they called neotenous stage, which is a stage that make people feel lovable and cute, and then they would like to protect them from danger. And even the cartoon character directed at the children take up similar methodologies. So this is what we have found. And this is to support from the visual survey that people is looking for the big one in comparison with the smaller one. So what you can...
Okay. And for the finding tool is about a famous component. The first one we try to find with the eye, but now you can see in this slide, which is how people also look in the other component except for the eye. Next, please. Yeah, and this is the heat map of the component that you can see that they're most looking on the eye, and also it's also on the ear and also on the edge of the head. So after we collect all of this, we can sum up that the first one is the eye that they look at the most, and also the next one is the ear. Even the picture have the same ear, they also looking at the ear sometimes, and also the edge of the head. This one is show much on the head of rabbit and also the buffalo head. And the next is the finding tree, which is after we finding the direction of the eye and the character. This is the how each character is reflect to the decision. So this is the graph that show how they choose the most favorite, which is the blue, the light blue one, and the unlike one, which is the orange one. You can see that each character they also have the attached to the favorite of people, which you can see that it have the light blue and dark blue in every character. But interestingly, for the porcupine and buffalo, which is at first we don't know how it will work, but half of the people rate this one as the most favorite because it is different from the other in the market. But on the half of people, they say that this character is cannot attack them much more for as the rapid cat or deer. So our safe zone here is will be rapid cat and deer, and the porcupine and buffalo will be the challenge one if we launch it on the market.
And the last finding, which is the finding number 4, but it's actually it's not a positive conclusions. During the collecting of the data, we also asking the questions of the age, gender, and also the occupation. So in order to find that, is there any relationship between these factors and the character design? So we use the method of the chi-square to test these two factors, whether the gender is correlated with the eye size or whether the age is correlated. So we have a final conclusion that this demographic information is not related to the character design. But again, this is also the limitation that we have only the response of 18 people. So if the number is getting more, then the statistic might working. And finally, it's just a further study that we are looking for to taste is that if the eye is moving, then is there any relation between the human connections that we gonna look at the same way of the eye? So this is just a final conclusions. So thank you from our group.